The past 9 months, my administration has initiated the single greatest mobilization in U.S. history, pioneering, developing, and manufacturing therapies and vaccines in record time. Numbers like nobody's seen before. No medical breakthrough of this scope and magnitude has ever been achieved this rapidly, this quickly, and we're very proud of it and have tremendous help from the military, generals, admirals, and many of the great people at the White House. Operation Warp Speed is unequaled and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and leaders of other countries have called me to congratulate us on what we've been able to do, and we've helped many countries with their ventilators and all of the problems they were having, and I'd like to congratulate everyone involved in this effort. It's been an incredible effort. As a result of Operation Warp Speed, Pfizer announced on Monday that its China virus vaccine is more than 90% effective. This far exceeds any and all expectations. Nobody thought they'd get to that level. And we have others coming which we think will be at equal level, maybe more if that's possible. In July, my administration reached an agreement with Pfizer to provide $1.95 billion to support the mass manufacturing and distribution of 100 million doses, with the option to purchase a total of 600 million doses shortly thereafter. Our investment will make it possible for the vaccine to be provided by Pfizer free of charge. Pfizer said it wasn't part of Warp Speed, but that turned out to be a unfortunate misrepresentation.
Line them up, line them up.
That's why we gave them the 1.95 million.
Line them up for the vaccine. Get your vaccine. It's coming to a theater near you, says Donald Trump, right? Ooh, vaccines. What better way to get a person to take a vaccine than to force them to take it? Good morning, everybody. Marcus Conte reporting. Wow, what a couple of days. The last couple of days, we're talking about the Proud Boys rising up, getting chopped off yesterday. I apologize for that. There's probably a little girl with pink hair somewhere who's assigned to buffer this website, to buffer this stream. And I think we got cut. I don't know how much of the stream went yesterday. Talking about the Proud Boys, but let's flip it a little bit, right? So the election, it's up to Trump to challenge and hold the dirty Democrats responsible for the steal. And but in the meantime, large corporations are not yielding at all in separating people, decreasing the standard of living. Keep people home, keep people separated, keep people fearful, and keep them consuming. Great way to do it. Great way to instigate a decentralized reset that we're seeing, where Amazon and the like rise to the top of the top, is to piggyback a pandemic. Fucking shit works, right? So are mandatory vaccines likely? I think they are. I think that it plays into the narrative, whether they're obviously not safe, because we have no way of knowing if a vaccine is safe. What we do know so far is that if you take the vaccine, the one that Pfizer says is 90% effective, you will get severe effects to the tune of a grueling night out of drinking, headaches, and nausea and vomiting, right? Plus the flu-like symptoms. Is it safe? Is a vaccine ever safe? Is a vaccine ever necessary? That's for you to decide, because I'm not allowed to say it is or it isn't. Right? I'm only allowed to say that it is, but you will have to decide for yourself. But there is now evidence, talk amongst the MPs, the PMs, excuse me, the prime ministers of, not prime ministers, the elected officials in England, whatever they're called, right, magistrates or fucking whoever they are chucking around the idea that vaccines are necessary. They're not necessary, but again, if you want to come to work, you better get your vaccine. Oh, you want to get on an airplane and fly somewhere? You have to have your vaccine. Right? And, what about microchips? What about chips? We've long known that this was a push. Maybe combine the two, get the vaccine and the chip. Right? And what does the vaccine? What does the chip do? The chip could read your thoughts. What if there was a chip in your body? What if there was a chip that not only gave your vital signs, gave your location, gave your vital signs like blood type, gave a full history that was connected to a full history database of who the fuck you are, right? But more so, what if you had a chip that could actually read your intention, read your mind, read your desires, right? What if you had that, right? Is it possible to invent it? No, not at all. I mean, we already have, you voluntarily give away your information on online. If you're surfing, you don't think that what you're doing is traceable and seeable to outside forces? Of course it is. Of course it is. But let's go one step further and put it in your fucking ass. Right? Let's stick it in your right here somewhere. Right? Put it behind your earlobe, or put it in your hand so you wave your hand and everybody knows you're there. Fuck facial recognition when you got a chip. So we'll talk about that too. It's a little bit of a. Are we going in that direction? Is that what the reset is going to be for? Vaccinate everybody. Treat people like, the billionaire class loves this shit. They love, everybody's a little pawn. We can predict their consumption way more if they're chipped. And if they're not moving around so much. Remember when I was a kid, man, I traveled to Europe. I traveled to Thailand. I traveled all over Europe. I've been to every city in Europe with a backpack. And you were allowed to do that. And you were encouraged to do that. Now, you're encouraged to be fearful and stay in your one-bedroom apartment and consume. Just order from Amazon. What's the problem, man? What's your fucking problem, right? So, good morning, Vinny DiMartini. We're now we could start. Vinny's here. So, good morning, everybody. So that's what we'll talk about. Those two subjects. There's not much on the election front. Trump is still challenging, still tweeting daily about how he's going to take down the deep state and show election fraud. All right, well, we'll wait for it. We'll see. Proud Boys aren't waiting. That was good stuff, man. This weekend, a new organization, a new rising up of people on the right that are fed up with the bullshit, pushed back on Antifa. Big time. They pushed back bigly. Wow, we got to see that, man. So let's see. We'll see the ongoing effects of that, and certainly the censorship that we're dealing with here is just off the fucking radar, man. Wow, holy shit. So good morning, everybody in the chat. Vinny DiMartini is here. Shadow. Awaken Alliance. Truth Loops. Thomas Robinson is here. Good morning. SS67UK. Hello. Sniff my tip. Ban Everything is here. Adam Feldman. And more. And many, many more are here today. Adam Kalma. Jason Walsh. Andy Garcia. Good morning, everybody. So kindly become a Patreon of this channel by going to the website, marcusconte.com. Click Patreon and join for as little as $2 a month. And or give a one-time contribution at PayPal. And thank you all to the fine people who have become members of this channel and support it and show up every day. And I love you. I love you guys. Man. I love doing this work. I really do. And I'll update the site a little more. I've just been swamped with my move. And on that note, let's start here. Right? So tourism won't be near pandemic levels until 2023. I told you so. How are you going to get tourism if you're going to block everybody and tell them stay out of our city or if you come to our city, you got to stay in a hotel for an extra 14 days before a mandatory lockdown. Lock yourself down before you get, while you're here. Right? Who the fuck is going to do that? No one's going to do that. Nobody is going to do that. Right? So it's predictable, right? So having done that, if you systematically destroy tourism in a city that thrives on tourism, what do you get? You get, look at the industries they killed. They killed the restaurant industry. Killed it. Killed the fucking restaurant industry. Killed Broadway. Killed sporting events. They killed, nightclubs, bars. It's over, right? I told you when I was there, I was like, this is not New York. This is the ugliest parts of New York City. The hustle, the bustle, the pushing, the attitude, right? That's all you got, right? You don't have the escape. Because in New York, you push through the chaos, and then you find your sanctuary at a nice restaurant or in a club or in a venue that you like to go to, right? The Broadway show. A off-Broadway show, a rock concert, a seedy rock concert on the Lower East Side. You can't do that anymore, right? So all you do is rush around. That's all people are doing. That's why a lot of New York people, this New Yorker included, got the hell out of there, right? So they're making a prediction 4 years. It could take New York City COVID-battered tourism sector 4 years to recover from the damage caused by the pandemic, even with a widely available coronavirus vaccine, the city's tourism arm projected Monday. There were only 22.9 million trips to the Big Apple this year, a tally that includes out-of-town staff brought in. Right. It's over. It's over. There's no reason to read more. But now the authorities are lining up. And what caused it? It's pandemic, right? Get tested. Get that vaccine. Test. Vaccine. Test. Vaccine. Vaccine. Oh, and chip. Get a chip. Get that chip, man. Get the chip. Because the chip will tell us if you're vaccinated as well. See? There's no more, you just walk down a fucking alleyway, right? You walk down that hallway in an airport, right? And all of a sudden, your fucking life flashes before everyone, right? Vaccinated, no, get out of line, right? It's like from Pink Floyd, get them up against the wall, get everybody up against the wall, right? How we doing? Are we buffering yet? Down a fucking alley here. Are we up? Are we running? Are we cool? Are we live? All right, good. Let me know if ever buffering, just put a stream of ones in the 1 like this. I'll do it for you. Just hold your finger on the ones, so I can when we're buffering, so I know we're buffering, because I'm not looking at that shit, man. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to do a fucking show here while these guys are chopping us up, right? So that's that. I think we're good right now. Thank you very much. So let's start also looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Oh my God, it's down 300 points. Oh my God. Dow Jones opened down 383. Why? Who knows? Doesn't matter. Look where it is. Look where the Dow Jones Industrial Average is. It's way at the fucking top. We've never seen it this high. We are approaching 30,000. Oh my God. What was the chart this week? I bet it was, let's look. What was the high? The high was, 29,960, right? Was the absolute high. I don't know if that was the closing high. But wow, so the Dow Jones is about to break 30 grand, right? It dropped today on bullshit news. It doesn't really matter. It's more coronavirus stuff, right? More coronavirus stuff, widespread virus. But the fact is, this is the real chart right here. This is what we're talking about. We are talking about a Dow Jones Industrial Average that since 2009 has pretty much gone straight up, with the exception of the massive dip that happened back in March when we were told that everybody's going to die from the virus. Right? So dead people can't consume. So the shit went down to 19,000, and now we're at 30,000. That's an 11,000 point jump. Who's going to take credit for that? Is it Trump or is it Biden or none of the above? I guess it's none of the above, right? Or both of them. Who fucking knows? So So, look at this. This is another story, right? See, because this vaccine shit. Look, even Amazon's got his hand in it. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, he's got enough fucking money, man. Let's give me more money, man. Give me more fucking money. Amazon starts selling prescription drugs to prime customers. What's a prime customer? Are you a prime customer? I don't even know what that is, man. I see prime. I see sometimes prime on the box. Is that a prime customer? I don't know what it means. I don't even buy. I rarely buy from Amazon. I'm an eBay guy. I like eBay. I go on eBay and I try to get deals. I try to get shit for cheap. I love eBay. Amazon starts selling prescription drugs. Ooh-wee, right? So they started as a bookseller. Remember Amazon? They sell books. They gave Barnes and Noble a run for their money. Remember that? And now they're going to sell drugs. They're going to take over everything, man. Could you imagine the impact of the pharmaceutical industrial complex if Amazon gets a footing in the pharmaceutical industry too? You'll have a vaccine, and you'll guarantee it. You better fucking take this shit, man. Look, what are you complaining about? It's only a hangover. You're only going to get a little. You're only going to glow in the dark for a few days. What's the big deal? Just take the vaccine and shut the fuck up, right? Your body, your mind. No, because your body, says the propaganda, your body is infecting others. Others. We have to protect others from you. See, that's the twist, right? There's an old saying, never waste a good crisis. Well, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, the world's richest man, isn't letting COVID-19 pass without wringing all the juice from the lemon. Mm-hmm. That's what he's doing, man. They're wringing this motherfucker out. Right? After years of quiet and consistent preparation from acquiring PillPack, a filling for licenses and trademarks, Amazon is finally ready to launch its online pharmacy business. Oh boy, this is going to be fucking enormous. Oh boy. The company announced Tuesday that it will start selling prescription drugs to its prime customers. Whew. Next logical step for the e-commerce big mouth, mammoth, whatever that is. So we're getting it. We're getting the monopoly is growing in size. It's not getting broken up. It's not antitrust laws. Yeah, fuck you, antitrust laws. That's what they're saying to you. They're laughing at you. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, he made he's worth how about $100 billion, almost $1 trillion. Wow, it's just an enormous amount of money, right? The richest man in the world, right? And now he's going to chop into that pharmaceutical business. Wow, right? So Amazon, according to Amazon, you remember when Jeff Bezos bought the media? He bought, he controls CNN and owns the Washington Post, right? And you saw how media changed, how media went to the ditch. It went down the toilet, right? Because you got a powerful billionaire working in his own interests to get that news to talk about how great we are, how fucking honest and integral everything is, and can stay home and consume, right? Stay home and consume our shit, right? Just learn how to use the fucking computer, right? And buy us stuff, man. So you remember when he did all that, right? And now you don't even have to leave your house for the pills, right? So first the pandemic and staying home and decentralizing was good. Why? Because Jeff Bezos is making a lot of money, so he'll say that. So now if he's doing pharmaceuticals, then pharmaceuticals are good too. Right? Pills, more pills, the better, right? Pills are good. Pills are good for you. What do you need? A pill? We got pills. We got plenty of pills. Yeah, send up the pills, right? Pills. Shots, pills, inhalers, vaccines, right? So Amazon, congratulations, Amazon is going into a new industry, the pharmacy industry, right? So the oligarch is growing in breadth and size. Look, Walmart, the three other richest people in the country, Walmart jumps after smashing expectations as average ticket soars 24%. So So ask yourself the question: deep state haters, the people who hate the deep state. Oh, the fucking deep state, man! I hope we catch them. I hope we fix them. I hate the deep state, right? But here's your deep state for you. I just read off two of the biggest participants of the deep state. The two number one big staters, which is Jeff Bezos of Amazon, and the Waltons, the Walmart fame. The Walmarts, the three of them own they own more wealth than the bottom 40% of the country. They own billions and billions. They got billions and billions of dollars. All three of them together are worth a little more than Jeff Bezos from the Walmart fortune. But more, they're making tons of money on the shutdowns. They love this shit. They love this shit. Just stay home. Don't travel. Fucking travel's a waste of time. Going to all these restaurants and Broadway and all that shit, man. Don't do that, man. Work, stay at home, and order our stuff, right? Order our shit, right? And go to Walmart, right? Buy your shit there, right? Buy all your stuff. Get in the car, race to Walmart. Right? Now, for some people, that's a step down. For me, it's a novelty. I'm living in suburbia now, right? In a smallish kind of place, and I'm exploring America. First, I have to explore my own, situation right now and make it livable, right? Because as you can see, there's painting going on, this floor is being torn up, and all that stuff. So, I'll have more to say as I begin to venture out into suburban America, and I'm very cautious. When I first moved to Brooklyn from downtown Manhattan, I realized that I was moving to a more conservative place, and I was very careful not to open my mouth as to not get punched in the face. Sticking cameras in people's faces. I did that quite a bit in Manhattan because I'm comfortable there, and I know that I'm better than them. So, sort of. But in a town like where I am now, and I'll tell you more about where I am, and well, I'm not holding back. I'm just not ready to go there. When I'm ready to go there, I'll go there. Right? That's just the way I work. When I'm ready, I will go there, and I will start to narrate once I have my finger on the pulse, I will start to talk more about my perception of mainstream America. Right? What is America? I've been I was long attacked, online for being a New Yorker, for being in the bubble. Oh, Conte, you live in a bubble. You live in a bubble in New York City, and you don't know what real people think. You don't know what real Americans are all about. Well, now I'm about to find out. I'm taking your advice. I'm going to take your advice, and I'm going to go out into America. I'm going to go out and say, hello, are you an American? Are you American? Excuse me. I like to talk to you, and don't mind the camera in your face, because this is just what I do. I'm good at putting people at ease, so there'll be more of that, right? So I just wanted to point out that two super billionaires are getting richer and richer. The stock market is going higher and higher, and people's quality of life is going down and down. Stay in the house. Do you really fucking think that Jeff Bezos is quarantining himself, or his lifestyle is going down one iota less? Are you fucking kidding me? Right? These people are living high on the hog. All their employees, anybody that steps, within 100 feet of them, will probably be required to wear a mask. But them themselves, they're not doing. They're living so. The oligarchs love this shit, man. They love it. Look at these people. We got them wearing masks and staying away from each other and fearful they're gonna fucking die. Willing. The mainstream media has made them willing to take a vaccine. Wow, we're doing great, man. Jeff Bezos, he's investing in what? Supermarkets and now pharmaceutical, pushing pills. Wow, man, get him eating, get him consuming stuff that they most of the time don't even fucking need. And now their medical needs, right? Whatever those are, we don't have medical needs, right? Because I don't think people even go to the doctor anymore. Do people go to doctors anymore? I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. So So let's talk about it. Good morning, everybody in the chat. If you're joining us late, thank you, Sterling Price, on the wrench. Sterling Price is here. Vinny DiMartini is here. Chris Milk, one of my favorite people on this channel. Weevil Girl is here. Ziti, a couple of new people. Truth Loops. Truth Loops. Truth. Truth Loops with 2 O's. I like that name. Can I borrow that shit, man? Me so hungry. Ban everything, Jason Walsh. So let's. So if you're joining us late, we're going to talk about the what's in the title. I'm getting to it already. Just relax, man, and enjoy the ride, right? So COVID-19 hospitalizations and mandatory vaccines and mandatory chip. You're going to get a chip, man. You're going to get a chip, right? Whether they sneak it up your ass, right? You know what that colon shit, right? When they go up your ass and they look around for stuff. They look around for polyps and they poke and they jab. That's what they'll do it. They'll put it in your ass. Right? You'll get your colonoscopy and they'll go in and they'll just leave a little chip behind. Do it experimentally, right? Because if they're going to experiment, I bet every prisoner in the prison system, after they get their ass checked, will have a chip up their ass. Right? And then we'll see how we'll test it. Test it in the prison system. Test it in... we'll go to the Congo or something, and after we steal their minerals and vitamins and all the shit in the ground, we'll go to Venezuela, and after we steal all their oil and keep our boot on their throat, we'll put a chip up their ass, and we'll track them to see if it works. Right? It's a good idea. Right? It's a good idea if you're a billionaire because, hey, man, whoever has access to that information, right? Whoa, shit is valuable. That shit is valuable. Right? So keep your ass cheeks together and don't let anybody in. Right? So I forgot what I was talking about. So hospitalizations reach new record as global cases top 55 million. Whoa, shit, there's more. Look at Joe Biden trying to act young. He's trying to act young. He's trying to convince you that he's not 100 years old. So if you believe it, global cases top 55 million. U.S. hospitalizations at new record. U.S. seeing 150,000 new cases per day. India outbreak continues to slow. Australian Prime Minister heads to Tokyo. Okay. Illinois, Michigan, more than 10,000 new cases. What is a new case? A new case is a testing positive. But those, I heard the cases are not... legitimate. They're not guaranteed. I got that photo too. I got that shit somewhere. Oh yeah. See, we'll talk about that next. So, U.S. COVID-19 hospitalizations reach new record. So more. How do you like it? How do you like it? More. How do you like it? The new restrictions follow an unprecedented surge, with the U.S. reporting 1 million new infections during the first 10 days of November, prompting health experts Dr. Anthony Fauci to warn that both Thanksgiving and Christmas could be canceled. Not for Amazon, so you'll be buying your shit online, right? That's what they want. That is the goal. Fuck you, Macy's. Fuck you, retail. Buy on Amazon. Just sit at home, learn the computer. I know, it's technology. People don't like to, old people, I don't know how to use the computer. Well, fucking take a class, man. Take a class. Watch a YouTube video. You don't know how to get to YouTube. You know what I mean? But this is the decentralized play. Do you think a guy that sells shit online for a living and made himself the richest person in the world, do you think that he wants the pandemic to go away? Hell fucking no, man. This is good for business, man. I was in the right place at the right time, man. Holy shit, I can't believe all this money we're making, and we treat people like shit. Work for Amazon, you treat it like cattle, right? You're like a slave. They got you chipped, and they got a bracelet on you. If you stop moving, you get zapped. They got a camera on you to make sure that you're efficient. Make sure that they put the bathroom a fucking mile away from your workstation so you can't take a piss because it'll take too long to take the piss. So all this is a union. They're actively making union movement the history of the union movement disappear. Union? What are you talking about, man? We're the fucking boss, man. You want to work here? You get your vaccine, you get your chip, and you fall in line. All right, that's the new world order. That is oligarchy, man. That's what monopoly looks like. That's what monopoly. Yeah. Big, get the deep state. Get the CIA, FBI. Fucking Comey, McCabe. Yeah. Get them, lock them up. All right, so we can continue to make billions of dollars. All right, that's where you're at. Unless you do that, unless you break up the banks, unless you break up big industry, you're not. None of this is going to change. The arrow is pointing in that direction because no one allows themselves enough time to realize who the fucking enemy is. You've got Proud Boys and Antifa now facing off against each other like it's a hockey game. Beating the shit out of each other, and if one side wins, who cares? It doesn't matter. Does it matter? Does it bring awareness to the problem, this problem that we're talking about, of the super rich and the super powerful controlling the whole fucking board, shutting us down, making us live in quiet, quiet life, a quiet desperation. That's what it is. It's okay. America's still great, but you live in a quiet desperation. Right? See, I like it. Someone like myself thrives on that because I'm a very powerful yogi. I'm very spiritually grounded, and I see things, and I don't necessarily need outside stimulation. I like the outside world to exploit it and show you it, but that's not where you derive your happiness. You derive your happiness from within. It comes from within. It's an inside job. Your happiness. You feel connected. Right? So anyway, man, how many people we got? How many people are watching? Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Smaller crowd today. It's a little different subject. A little different subject. A little different. How many people? Oh, okay. Smaller crowd today. Good morning, everybody. I wish I could talk about Proud Boys and Trump every day, but this is the real shit right here. Right? This is what we got to talk about today. Right? So what else? Yeah. So hospitalizations, new high, but COVID-19 testing is a tragic waste, says one reporter. Says these guys from LouRockwell.com. From the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the clarion call has been to test some more. However, right from the start, serious questions arose about the tests being used to diagnose this infection, and questions have only multiplied since then. Positive reverse transcription polymer chain reaction, or the RT-PCR tests. RT-PCR tests have been used as a justification for keeping large portions of the world locked down for the better part of 2020. So these tests, this is what they're relying on, right? Get that shit up your nose, man. See, there goes the chip. The chip in, mucus out. Right? Dr. Michael Yedin, former vice president and scientific director of Pfizer, has even gone on record stating that false positive results from unreliable tests are being used to manufacture a second wave based on new cases, when in fact a second wave is highly unlikely. Whoa, the Pfizer guy's even speaking out against the testing. But we rely so much on testing, right? Get tested, test. You see these testing centers on the corner. I haven't seen any here, but certainly in the big cities, they stick them up everywhere. You want to test? Sure, we'll test you for free, And then if you test positive, well, that's a different story, If you test positive, then we got to follow you around for a year, or 6 years, or 6 months. And we have access to all of your friends and your whole life, right? Because you took a free test. It's free. It's free. You want it free? You want to find out? Yeah, you scared? Okay, take a test. And if you test positive, which the results seem to be wildly off, I'm not saying this, YouTube. I am not making this assumption. I am reading from a authoritarian news source that's saying it. I have my opinion, and I've voiced my opinion, and I have a medical background, which makes me highly qualified to talk about this subject. But I, at this moment, am relying on zero hedge. I'm relying on others saying the same thing that I've been saying all along. Right? Remember that the doctors that we looked at? If you go back, roll back the tape, the doctor who says millions of cases, low amount of death. Right? And everybody that talked about that guy, those two doctors, the two gay doctors from California, and everybody got banned. Everybody, right? So those are the subjects that they hammer you when you talk about those subjects, and you know, or oh, the New Zealand shooter. Oh, remember the mosque shooter guy? Oh, that knocked out so many people. Or now Proud Boys, right? Yesterday the shit was going like this, man. YouTube was going crazy on us, man. It was buffing and boffing all over the place. Right? So the tests are unreliable, says a couple of folks over here. A positive test does not actually mean that an active infection is present. As noted in a U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention publication on coronavirus and PCR testing dated July 13, 2020. So if the tests are so unreliable, why are we using them? Why? Because it's politics, man. Politics, right? It doesn't matter if it's positive. It doesn't matter if you have this thing. It's not important. It's important that you shut your mouth, put a mask over it. If you can't shut your mouth, just wear a mask and eventually you'll stop talking. Right? And stay 6 feet away from everybody, because we really don't want to hear your opinion anymore. In the New World Order, in this reset, your opinion is worthless. Shut up. Just listen. Go online and permeate to your type of people. Find your tribe. Like if you're watching this, we're a tribe. You found your tribe, right? We're a tribe here. Right? And find your tribe. And then once you're in that tribe, we will shut you down. We'll get you all in one swift motion. That's the strategy, right? It works. Right? It works because it's a power grab. Whoever controls the narrative wins. Sadly, right? So all the tests. I don't want to read all this because it's. I mean, I think we know the answer already. That the tests are highly unreliable, and the more you test, the more you find, and then the more you find, the more you send people to the hospital. And once you're in the hospital, everybody's got COVID-19, right? Because that's the diagnosis for the money, right? If you got a flu, well, we can't make any money on that. But man, if you test positive for COVID-19, we are going to make some federal money. Get that money, man. Get the money machine flowing. Come on in. Got COVID-19? Come on in. You're welcome. Come on in. We'll treat you. All right, so anyway, man. So what's up, everybody, man? Thank you for allowing me to rant today. I'm feeling a little better today. I don't know why I was feeling not so better. I was tired, man. And my hands hurt. Right? I've been pulling nails and fucking pulling rugs and staples and doing manly work, man. Oh, doing real men's work, right? And women's work too. Right? It's hard work. Doing hard work. So check this shit out, right? To scare you a little more. Hey, Texas, guess what? Photos show Texas inmates stacking COVID-19 dead outside of overflowing morgue. Ooh, wow. Oh, you remember they said that in New York? You remember with 5 dead bodies in a freezer truck? Right? And then I got attacked that day. You remember that day? It was over in Brooklyn Hospital. And they got caught with, stacking 5 bodies in a freezer truck outside. And that was the racist guy. I said, "Where's your white privilege out of here, man? Where's your white privilege out of here?" What a great Brooklyn memory, right? Having a fat black security guard telling me to get my white privilege out of here for covering dead bodies in a morgue. Oh, man. New York, man. I'll miss those times, right? But I could still talk about it. I could still see it. I could still tell you what's going on there because I lived there my whole life, right? If I see it, I'll tell you about it, right? And but more so, I want to talk more about, because as New York slowly gets flushed down the toilet, I really, my focus, my intention of moving away. Why here, not why now? Because again, I want to experience more of an American, the American lifestyle, right? Oh, I'll give you an example. Just a brief stepping away, man. I had a traumatic experience yesterday. I went to an American supermarket, right? Now, there is a good supermarket in this area, a really cool one, fancy one, like with right up there with Trader Joe's, right? And but there's a lot of the shit ones, right? And you walk in there, right? And I went to the bread aisle, and I saw like there's like 30 variations of Wonder Bread. Right? All the breads, they'll say, oh, this is Italian bread, and you touch the thing and it's wrapped in plastic and it's soft and gooey and it's like Wonder Bread, right? It's all the same shit. It's just a different brand. It's one supermarket, they said Italian bread. I looked at it, it was like a brick. It was like this fucking brick of bread. It was just a little harder than the Wonder Bread, right? And so was everything else in the aisles. It was all this fast food, like boxed stuff. The vegetable aisle was very thin, right? You'd die if you keep eating that food. And you wonder why people are so unhealthy in this country. Right? They just grab boxes of stuff, right? Big boxes of cereal. Ugh. Breakfast cereal, that's the worst shit you can start your day with. Eating that shit, man, like Cheerios and so I left. I was like traumatized. I was walking around. I was like, wow. Then I had the mask on so nobody could see my face. Right? But man, the reality. I went there because it was a little closer to where I am. Right? But wow, it was amazing to walk the aisles of an American supermarket and not be able to find really anything that you like. I found that I got a pineapple and some bananas. I had to buy cat food and toilet paper. Yeah, you can get all that stuff. Laundry detergent. Yeah. But try to get like food, edibles. It's hard, man. It's like, so those are some of the things I want to talk about, right? Because to me, that's new. In New York City, if you don't like that supermarket, it probably won't make it anyway. If people don't like something in a big city like that, it dies. Here too, but if you don't like it, you could just go next door to the fancier one, or the better one, or the one that you like, right? I had another realization too about small towns versus big city. The only difference really with a big city is that you get to see the extremes, right? Big cities are extreme, right? They're very extreme. Everything is like there's poverty is real poverty. People sleeping on the gutter, and the wealth is enormous wealth. People living in 4 floors in a Park Avenue building, or own the whole building, like guy like Bloomberg, right? Extreme wealth, right? Extreme wealth and extreme poverty, extreme attitude. That's the difference of a city. That's what cities are as compared to suburbia, where the extremes are not that extreme. They're just, they're mildly extreme. I'll talk more about that as I move along. But here we go. Dead bodies being stacked in Texas. Look. Real inmates with stripes on, stacking bodies. It looks staged to me. Why are they photographing? Why are they allowed to photograph? That's obviously a cop. And they're all wearing masks, so you can't tell who they are. But this is, you sign up for this work. So let's read just a little bit. Disturbing new images show Texas inmates loading dozens of bodies into the refrigerator truck behind an overflowing El Paso morgue amid a new surge in coronavirus cases. Are those two connected? I don't know. The inmates, who are paid $2 an hour to be part of a grim detail, are seen wheeling body after body to the trailers. $2 an hour to drag dead bodies. Holy shit, I bet Amazon's going to jump into that business too. We'll take your body and we'll bury your body for less. We'll pick the body up in one of our Amazon Prime trucks and bury that shit for way less. All right? Work with us. We'll go into the morgue business. They're going to be in every kind of business. But here they are in Texas burying bodies. Do we believe it? Is there? You remember in New York, they had the same images appeared from Rikers Island, and it turns out that inmates bury bodies. That's what they do, right? That's a detail, right? In New York City, Rikers Island, one of the largest city prisons, jails in the world, largest city jail in the world, New York City, Rikers Island, has a little detail. What they do is they take a boat over to Hart Island, which is essentially Potter's Field, and bury bodies. And images appeared the same way, and it turned out to be a total farce. People like myself who know what Hart Island is will say, no, that's what they do on Hart Island. Those are prisoners burying bodies. They do that all the time. They've been doing that for 100 years. So I would imagine the same is true here. Is there a spike in burying dead bodies? Here we go again, right? Here we go again. Let's just read and see if anything else. If we can discover anything else. Right? So photos show a half dozen prisoners from county jail all wearing striped jailhouse stuff. You know what? I want to move on because we didn't really get to the main story yet. So here's, we'll talk about that later, right? So it's probably bullshit anyway. UK citizens could be banned from going into work without proof of COVID-19 vaccine. Now, the whole show I've been talking about, COVID-19, scare the shit out of people, get them to consume. And now, mandatory vaccines. Check this out, right? UK workers, start there, right? And then we'll work our way over the river to the states, right? To the colonies, as the old Brits like to say. UK workers could find themselves banned from pubs, restaurants, and possibly even the workplace if they refuse to get the COVID-19 vaccine, according to a senior MP, Member of Parliament. That's what it was. I was trying to say it earlier. Right? Ooh, mandatory vaccines in the UK. Here we come. Here we go. Here we go. Speaking with the Huffington Post Commons People podcast, as noted by the Metro, conservative Tom Tugendhat has warned that he could certainly see the day when proof of vaccination was required to turn to normal life. If vaccination works, and if we're confident it's safe, and all indications so far are good, where? Where are the indications that it's safe and it works? Only that can only be determined through what? Through time, years to analyze the effects. Right? But anyway, can I certainly see the day when businesses say, quote, look, you got to return to the office, and if you're not vaccinated, you're not coming in. Ooh, what a dig. What a dig. What a predictable dig. Who told you that was going to happen a year ago? I told you in March that would happen. Mandatory vaccines are coming. Right? Mandatory masks, mandatory distance. Right? For the reasons I told you about. For the reasons of oligarchy. For the reasons of control. Quote, and I can certainly see social venues asking for vaccination certificates. Ooh, a vaccination card. But if we go one step further and chip people who got vaccinated, then we won't have to have a card. All right, because you can hand your card to your friend. You remember in the old days you'd have your ID and you give it to your friend behind you. You take your ID, you show it to the security guard when you were 17. You want to get into the club at 18. And tell them you were 18, you put your license in your pocket, and you put your hand in your back pocket. But really, you're not putting it in your back pocket. You're handing it to your friend behind you. Remember that shit? You remember those days? So you won't be able to do that because we're going to chip you, man. We're going to chip you. Or if you're not vaccinated, they can detect the vaccination because you're glowing in the dark. You just pass through the infrared, the light, right? When you pass through, we'll see you coming. And know you're vaccinated. So it is the good people of Parliament in England are already talking like that. Venues, airlines. The MP was speaking in the week's Pfizer vaccine candidate. The MP was speaking in the week Pfizer vaccine candidate was proven to be 90% effective. Right? They're still on that note, right? And Trump loves this shit, loves it. Right? As we noted last week, U.S.-based Ticketmaster, this is crazy, Ticketmaster is planning to verify concert goers' vaccination status or whether they've tested negative for COVID-19 within a 24 to 72-hour window. Whoa, you want to see a concert? Vaccination. Right? If not, stay at home. We don't care because we'll have virtual concerts anyway, right? We'll have it anyway, and we'll make more money on that as well, right? Because only 20,000 people could fit in Madison Square Garden, and they're paying, I don't know, $50 or $100 to watch a hockey game. But you know how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people we can cram into, a platform like what's that platform that fucking that new platform? What is it called? I forgot that name. Zoom. Oh man, we can do Zoom. A Zoom. We could Zoom to millions of people. Why stop at 20,000 in Madison Square Garden? You catch COVID-19 there, but if we have control of the Zoom, that's why I said I was about to say that music is dead and art is dead, right? Because you can never stop what people like and enjoy, but you could certainly filter out what they see. So you'll get these watered down versions of entertainment. You won't get true entertainment, right? Unless you really search it out, right? And I feel like even myself, right? If I wasn't conscious that certain things that I show and talk about would get this channel totally kicked off, I would be. If you think that I'm vocal now and out of my head now, if that were the case, I would be so fucking far out there that you wouldn't believe. I'd be sitting in here and with a fucking with a jock strap on or something crazy like that, right? I would go all the way out there. I don't mean that literally. That's a bad image, but what I'm saying is I would go out there in terms of content. And my point is that you tend to self-censor yourself because you have to. And I think people will accept the watered-down version of movies. For example, Netflix, which most of it kind of sucks, right? It's watered-down, multimedia. Let Hollywood figure it out. Let the creative minds figure it out. But, or let Broadway figure it out. But we can't have that, right? Because we can't make money on that shit. So anyway, it's hard to make it up. I remember when I used to travel rather more than I do now. When you go into certain countries, you had to show a yellow fever certificate. And if you did not have a yellow fever certificate, you weren't allowed into the country. And that was that, said Tuggan Hat. Added, there was no debate, no appeals, and no further requests. And I could see a situation where, yes, of course, you're free not to have the vaccine, but there are consequences. You want to travel, you want to visit New York, you want to get on a plane, you want to go to a concert, you want to work and make a living. Got to get that vaccine, man. Got to get that shit in your ass, man. It's safe. We say it's safe. It's safe because we say it is safe, right? When asked whether he thought public transportation and similar services might follow suit in requiring immunity passports. Immunity passports. Oh my God. And we mock China for having, what is it, a social score, a social IQ. Right? China has that shit. How compliant are you to social norms? Your IQ goes up, and you get more entitlement. You get more access to more things. If you have a low score, that means you're radical and defiant, and eventually will throw you in fucking jail. Right? We're going in the same direction. Right? When asked whether the thought, it would depend what the public services were. So, what about the subway? What about something as simple as the subway? That if you go through the turnstile and a beeper goes off, right, from facial recognition or some kind of other scan or chip, and says that you didn't get your vaccine, get off the fucking line, right? And a team of hazmat guys come over and remove you from the subway, right? And then you can't get where you got to go, right? What happens? Right? What happens then, right? What happens then, Trump? Right. So when asked whether, so this is an across the board. It's not certain. It's not guaranteed, but are we going in that direction? Fucking hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. What else? This is the other one that I want to really talk about. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Look at this guy. Klaus Schwab. Great reset. That's what we are. This is a great reset, right? The pandemic was an excuse to reset. Shuffle that shit around, man. Give the power back to the billionaire class. People thought they were getting the power back in the Great Reset, but no, they're not getting power. They're getting their power siphoned away from them. Look at the markets. The markets are going up. Look at the wealthy getting wealthier. And look at regular people getting poorer and poorer. Waiting for the next stimulus check, waiting for the next handout. What happens when the money runs out? What happens when the handouts run out? Or maybe it never does. Maybe that's the socialized system. Consume less. You don't have to work that hard. Just stay home. We don't want to hear from you. We don't want to see your mouth or your nose. We don't want to hear your nose moving. But let's go one step further. Let's fuse physical, digital, and biological identity. That's what I've been talking about this whole show. Right? The lead up to a chip that does the. It's like I wish I could find a tool that does the work of all these things. You remember back in the day we had a big clunky telephone and we had all the accessories. Now we just got a very slim piece of plastic, a slim piece of phone in our pocket, man. It does everything, man. It's like GPS. It's a fucking a miracle, man. My phone talks to me. I'm walking around and tells me, turn right, turn left. It's amazing. Or you're driving around, right? So anyway, but this is real, right? This guy's scary, man. Globalist, Mr. Schwab, made it clear that transhumanism that's racist, man. That's discrimination, man. You call me a transhumanism. I'm a transsexual. I demand it's fucking violating my rights, man. Violating my civil rights. What bathroom will you use if you're a transhuman? Is an integral part of the Great Reset when he said that the Fourth Industrial Revolution would lead to a fusion of our physical, digital, and biological identity. Ooh, wow. Which in his book he clarified is implantable microchips that can read your thoughts. A chip that could read your thoughts. Is that possible? Well, yeah, of course it is. We have electroencephalographs, electrocardiograms. We have shit that can read a mood and read, maybe not thoughts. Thoughts, wow, that's pretty heavy, right? Can it read thought? It can read your behavior. It could certainly read the words that are coming out of your mouth. It could hear the words coming out of your mouth and draw conclusions. It could tell what time you go to sleep, what time you're awake. It could take your blood pressure, your vital signs. It knows what kind of substances you consume or don't consume or should consume. It shows it could see through your eyeballs and see what channel you're watching. The sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. Just get that chip in there, man. Get that chip in there, man. As with highlighted earlier, as we highlighted earlier, the Great Reset is attracting a huge deluge of fresh attention in the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic, which Prime Minister Trudeau from Canada said was an opportunity for a reset. Yeah, it is. The agenda is primarily based around dismantling the current capitalist system in favor of greater centralized technocrat rule. Yeah, greater centralized technocrat rule, but decentralizing people so that they don't get together and talk, man. That talking shit, man. You guys fucking, look at them. Break them up, man. Thailand, no more than 5 people together, right? Break those people up. Right? We don't want people finding their tribe. We don't want that. We don't want Proud Boys coming out into the street finding their tribe. Keep them separated. I mean, I keep saying it over and over again, but that's what's going on, man. That's what's going on. I should be dead, according to the statistics. I was living in New York without a mask. I went out every single day. I ate whatever I saw. I shopped wherever I wanted to go. I wore only a mask when absolutely necessary. I touched things. I sat in the park with people and sang songs and I ain't sick, man. I got sick before that. Right? Living the life of fear. But anyway, right. To each his own, man. This guy's interesting. Let's listen.
It's at the end. What the fourth industrial revolution will lead to is a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities. When I wrote the book, I started to write it for years ago. It was published 3 years ago. It was sold, very interesting, over 1 million times.
Yeah, George's son says, pets have chips now. People love it. Yeah, I would agree, but I think that's a watered down version of what we're talking about. A pet chip is really just, as far as we know, is just to locate the pet. But we're talking about something a little more advanced, quite possibly a lot more advanced.
Times in the world, and what is interesting is that 800,000 copies, more than 800,000 copies of those 2 million were sold in 3 countries alone: China, Japan, and South Korea. And you may be interested, who was the biggest buyer? With 16,000 copies at the same time. It was the Korean military. Because the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah, this guy's a bit of a dickhead, but he's talking about this notion of physical, digital, and biological fusion. We think of ourselves as physical, right? Physically, we're protected by a constitution and the right to right to free speech of the press, the right to control one's own body, to bear arms, to protect oneself, to the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. Right? That's what we're guaranteed. But if you have a device that is guiding your physical, biological, and digital existence, you're no longer a free person. Right? What about using the 5G network to zap people that are bad? What about using it as a treatment? What about zapping people who have the chip in them and torturing them or making them fall in line? Oh, you have that brand of chip? Oh yeah, that was one of the first chips. Okay, so let's and medications also can be electronic medications. They can be electrical stimulation that causes pleasure and pain centers of the brain to be stimulated. All is possible once you give access to your body. Right? So that'll be in the 2nd grade. Okay, it's chip day. Everybody gather. Chip day. Chip day. It's chip day. Everybody's gonna get their chip. Gather around. Okay, everybody, turn around, drop your pants, and bend over. Chip, chip, chip. All right, that's where we're coming, right? So, going. All right, let's do it to the kids, right? So, in the book, Schwab explains with excitement how upcoming technology will allow authorities to intrude into the private space of our minds, reading our thoughts and influencing our behavior. Yeah. He goes on to predict that this will provide an incentive for law enforcement to implement Minority Report style pre-crime programs. It's 1984. It's the thought police. Oh, you're having those negative thoughts. You're having those thoughts about your life and your freedom. Well, freedom. You read it wrong, right? We erased that. We erased the idea of freedom and equality and back in 2016. This is 2050, man. Just bend over, take your chip, get your vaccine, and fall in line, man. Fall in line, right? And buy some Amazon stock because that's the only way you can really make a living anymore. You have to invest in the corporations because if you're invested in the corporations, there's a very small possibility that you're going to talk down about them. If you're making $1 million on Amazon stock, why would you go public and say, you know, Amazon, we should break them up. It's a monopoly. You wouldn't be saying those things. You'd be like, shut the fuck up. I'm making a lot of money on Amazon, man. I like Amazon. Amazon is good. Yeah, I know they got slave labor and all, you know, and they're you know, now the pioneers of the new, you know, chip revolution and all this stuff. But listen, man, I like the money, man. I like the money. I make a lot of money on Amazon. So chip, to have or to have not a chip in your anus, that is the question. All right. So thanks everybody for joining me. Marcus Conte reporting. Ooh, chips, vaccines, man. You gonna get your vaccine? Would you ask yourself this question, right? You work for a municipality. You don't work for yourself. You work in a place, and you know, it's maybe you're a sanitation worker, for example, or you're a cop, or you work in a court system, or you work in a municipal building, right? Or you work for Amazon, right? And one day you get an email and says, report to the health clinic for your vaccine. And you say, wait, whoa, fucking vaccine, what are you talking about? And then you get another email say, well, you tested positive for the bug, so in order for you to return to work, you'll have to get your vaccine. You have to ask yourself the question, will you do it? How much are you willing to sacrifice? How much of your freedom and your right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness are you willing to sacrifice for money? Right? And what if that's the only thing that you can do? What if that's your only source of income? And the system is set up to make you starve to death. Like, what do you want to do? Sit around and be hungry? That's the extremes that I'm talking about. Maybe not in the very near future, but certainly down the road, right? Certainly down the road. With the idea would be to make you fucking comply, man, because we need that shit, man. We need it. We absolutely need it. You need a chip and a vaccine, and we need to get you to compliance, man. It's really what it's about, man. Vaccines. Hare Krishna. Yep, I'm still here. Hey, Marcus Conte reporting, man. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini and Sterling Price on the wrenches. Thank you very much for your help. We got Sassafras here, Calito, Brigante, Vandaloo is here, man. Let me know if you guys ever want to do a live stream. We'll bring everybody into the stream. We'll do the Google chat. I think people were hesitant the last time. I tried it a few times, and it was just like me and Vinny chatting. Right? So, but if more people are interested in that, we can go in that direction and have a live chat where we can hear your voice. We see you typing, we see your words, but let's go one step further and maybe have everybody in the room at the same time. Calito Briganti says she'll do it, or he'll do it. All right, man. So peace, everybody, man. It's cold up here in the Northeast Pennsylvania, man.